Today we're going to be talking about the IKEA PS 2026 collection. I feel like it's been a while since I've done a proper sit down video where I just discuss things that I like, things that I'm recently getting into. Since summer is right around the corner, this is the perfect time to get in some of my summer favorites as well as things that I am getting really into, furniture goals, and plans for the future. If you're new here, my name is Appleseed. If you're not, welcome back. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. If you're an object or furniture enthusiast or you're really into IKEA, then you'll know that the new PS 2026 collection have been taking the world by storm. A few of the products have been going viral, and I just want to talk a bit about some of my favorites from the collection. The first product is the inflatable chair. We have to talk about the inflatable chair. First of all, it is one of the coolest products ever. It's a chair that is inflatable. This is not one of my favorite items on the collection, but I figured this was important to bring up as the first product because this is the one that has been going super viral. Me personally, I think the inflatable gimmick is really cool as a concept, but I personally would just feel kind of uncomfortable sitting on the chair knowing that it's made of air. I've been seeing videos on the internet. It doesn't really deflate as much as you would think or at all, which is a really good thing. That means the product is very well designed. But I think just spiritually knowing that it's air that you're sitting on, I don't know. I feel like whenever I sleep on an air mattress, which is not often, I always have this weird feeling in the back of my head that's like, okay, what if the air just all comes out? Or what if the thing explodes, right? There are so many things that can happen with an inflatable object. I do really love the design of the product. Like, I think it's really beautifully designed. I am obsessed with the chrome kind of stainless steel look of the legs that hold up the chair. Green is also one of my favorite colors, and so I feel like this is just something that will add a very nice color pop touch to your space. If you're somebody who doesn't have any color in your home, or if you're somebody who loves a lot of color, this is the perfect product for you. I would probably lose the air pump, honestly, so this for me is probably not something that I would buy. Object and product aside, I'm obsessed with all of the photos from the campaign and the videos. I think it's just all very well done. And honestly, one of my goals, if this could like ever happen, is I would love to shoot an IKEA campaign or art direct like an IKEA showroom or a pop-up. Like, I think that's so freaking cool. IKEA, if you're watching this, I would love to work with you guys. So the next product, and probably my favorite from this collection, is the folding chair. This is one of those products that immediately caught my eye when I first saw images of it. First of all, I love the colors. I have been really getting into the color red recently. If you guys have been a longtime viewer of my channel and my content, then you'll know that red isn't exactly one of my favorite colors. But I've started to really come around to the color red. I'm starting to really love it. I think red is a very sophisticated and unique color. The blue on this chair, guys, my bookshelf. This blue is one of my favorite colors. It also works very well with red. The cyan, baby blue-ish kind of tones of the blue work really well with red. Those two colors complement each other very well. I love that the back of the chair is actually black versus just having it all be the birch wood color. Of course, I think even if it was all birch wood color, it would still look really nice. I think that the black really does add another level of uniqueness to it that I really like. I love that they hung up the chair. It's a really unique and nice way of displaying it as like an art piece, but I just think functionally it's really nice to be able to hang up a chair like that because of its weight. I live in New York City, and so my apartment is not the biggest apartment ever. I love that they kept the functionality and they kept people's spaces in mind, because then if you don't have a lot of space in your home, this is the perfect product for you to pick up. Like, if you need an extra chair for when you have guests coming over, family coming over, whatever the case may be, it's just really nice to be able to storage the chair in a way that doesn't take up too much space. Definitely my number one favorite product of the whole collection. Color-wise, design-wise, and functionality-wise, I just think it all works so well. Now, the last chair on this list, because they have been banging out bangers of chairs in this whole collection, it's the birch chair. I know you guys will probably think it's gonna be the stool, but it's not. It's actually the birch chair, and I am obsessed with this chair. I actually am considering I might get the chair. Who knows if I have space. I really have to see if I have space for it. I loved the way this chair looks. It reminds me of the Eames LCW chair, which is the lounge chair wood. The curvy birch wood is a really unique look, paying homage to the Eames design. It's really cute. I love that they kept it all natural, because there's a world where you can dye the wood or you can paint it a color, and I think that's really unique, because if you're somebody who's not really into the natural wood look, then you can definitely get paint and just paint it something really cute. But this is definitely one of the more more underrated products in the collection that not a lot of people are talking about, it's definitely worth mentioning because I do think there's a lot of potential with this product. Also, not everybody's into ColourPop, and so this is a product that fits into almost any space. You guys already knew this was gonna make it on the list, but it is the lamp, and this is a really cool product. I love that the lamp is bendable and you can bend it in almost any way. You can use it as a spotlight, you can use it as a top light. There's so many different ways to use the lamp. I'm also seeing in a lot of product photos and a lot of people's videos that the lamp is actually not as big as it looks, which is really nice. Again, if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of space, this is the perfect product because it is very compact. I think if I were to get this product, it would be really nice to have on my bedside. If you guys are into plants, it can also be like a really nice grow lamp because of the way it functions, the way you can bend it into any shape and direction. Next up in the lamp category, the paper shade. This is, y'all, the paper shade, so freaking cute. I think I'm actually gonna get it. I love that they went with like a half moon kind of half sphere shape. Again, very unique design because most of the times when you see these paper lanterns, they're usually oval or they're round. I have a paper shade from Hay and it's round. This is actually a very clever shape because it saves a lot of headroom. For me, I think this would be the perfect product to buy for my bedroom. I've actually been trying to invest in more lamps in my bedroom because sadly there's only one light in my bedroom, so at night it gets really dark. And you guys know me, I do not use overhead lights. It should be illegal to use overhead lights. Next up on my favorites is the rolling cart. I just think this rolling cart, the light blue, I am obsessed. I think the color palette they picked for this whole collection is very pretty. It's a lot of my favorite colors all in one place, so I'm gonna be a little bit biased on the products just because color for me is really important. I love color. Guys, it's 2026. Let's put millennial gray in the past. The theme of this collection was playful functionality, and so I feel like it works so well. It's really functional because you can use it for almost anything, right? In the product photos that they have featuring it, they have it set up in many different ways. You can use it in the kitchen, kind of as like a bar cart to store some of your drinking ware, things like that. Or if you're really into the plant hobby, you can use it as like a plant stand. So there's infinite ways you can use it. The only thing I will say is I think it's priced a little bit too high, but I haven't seen the product in person yet, and so it might just be really high quality, which is why it's priced a little bit high. But for something like this, I was honestly really expecting it to be maybe like $40. The last thing on this list is the pink cabinet. Also another product that I feel like was a bit underrated from this collection and a product that not a lot of people are talking about. Now, when I first saw this cabinet, my mind immediately went to IKEA greenhouse cabinet. I'm sure you guys all know, and I'm pretty sure IKEA is aware of this too, but all the glass cabinets that they make end up being converted into greenhouse cabinets. And if you're not into the plant hobby or you're not into plants at all, basically there's this IKEA DIY hack where people turn the glass cabinets into a greenhouse. They'll add grow lights to the top, they'll add fans, they'll weather strip it and add humidity into it so that it becomes the perfect climate for houseplants. It's quite popular amongst the plant community. When I saw this cabinet, I immediately was like, that's gonna be a greenhouse cabinet for sure. Somebody is gonna buy that and put plants in that. And honestly, if I was still in the market to look for a greenhouse cabinet, I would absolutely get this and use it as a greenhouse cabinet. The only thing is I think like the grid might be a little jarring. I love the pink color that they picked. I feel like this pink is not very commonly seen in the IKEA color palette. Also, I kind of wish that the grid was actually wire. So I wish the cabinet was actually like a wire frame cabinet as opposed to it being a glass cabinet. But because it's a glass cabinet, there's potential for it to be a greenhouse cabinet. I just think overall this has been a very strong collection. Almost every item that's part of the collection is a banger, is worth mentioning and talking about, but these were just my top favorites. Let me know what your top favorites are. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my collection. I would love to know your thoughts and what you liked about it. And if you guys actually picked up any of these items, let me know how they're holding up in your home, because I feel like it's one thing to look at a product on the internet or a photo or see it in the IKEA showrooms, and then it's like another thing to have it in your actual house. The next thing on this agenda, I wanted to talk about my summer favorites. So I have been really getting into checkered board lately. I mean, of course, I have a lot of checkered board pattern things in my apartment. I would say a lot of the things in here are checkerboard. All my rugs are checkerboard. I just redid my kitchen recently and went with a checkerboard print. I'm wearing like this checkered board shirt right now. I have actually been wanting to start a lifestyle brand of some sort. I'm still in the brainstorming phase, okay, so don't expect anything to come out yet. I'm not creating a brand anytime soon. I'm kind of just in the experimental phase. I'm kind of just testing out different designs and patterns, but I think one of the things that I really really want to feature in my brand is a monogram. I've been messing around with this checkered pattern. Here is kind of a close-up of what the little square looks like. I didn't want it to just make it a checkered board. I wanted something that was gonna be a little bit more stylized and branded, and so I went with this really cute kind of flowery square as opposed to the traditional checkerboard square. I think the symbolism of sunshine is gonna be like pretty important in the brand. I love that the inner square looks kind of like a sun with like rays shooting out of it. I wanted to loop you guys in and kind of just share a little bit of the progress and where I'm at with the brand and the ideation and brainstorming of it. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you guys have any thoughts, if you guys don't have any thoughts, that's totally fine. Expect to see some mock-ups and updates coming in the near future. Okay, next summer favorite, guys, and actually like quite recently this summer, the Gustav Westman x Nike collaboration. What in the world? Guys, I love Gustav Westman. I think his stuff is so freaking cute. I'm not entirely sure if this is just gonna be a pop-up in LA and you can only get the stuff in LA. I love the Nike swoosh as a ceramic plate. I could imagine using it as like a charcuterie board if I were able to get it. Kind of wish it was in New York. I'm really sad because if it was in New York, I would have totally went and I would have totally tried to buy the plate. You know, at least I'm not forced to spend more money. I think the important thing is that I'm not forced to spend more money. So one of my goals this summer is to actually get a media console. I've actually been thinking about getting a media console. I feel like this space under my TV is very underutilized right now. Also, I just think that having a media console will just be able to help me hide a lot of the wires here. And so I have been thinking about doing that. So the way I have this area set up right now is you have the TV here and I'm actually hiding all my cables inside of this cabinet right here. So you see like the wires going into it. But then I have my grow light here and it's kind of just like cable mess. So I think getting a TV console of some sorts is gonna be really nice for the area. There's a lot of different possibilities of like what I'm thinking about doing. I've actually been making a bigger effort in investing in more higher quality furniture, whether that would be going out of my comfort zone and antiquing, thrifting, or just generally purchasing higher quality pieces. Ever since I slimmed down my plant collection, I've been really appreciating the plants that I currently have, and I think that same philosophy I kind of want to apply to my furniture as well. I'm still very much into IKEA. I think IKEA just makes fantastic furniture that's affordable, but sometimes I feel like when you have too much IKEA pieces, it really does start feeling like an IKEA showroom, which is not a bad thing. But one thing that I'm starting to notice about my own apartment is that when you start combining higher quality pieces that are a little bit more unique and you blend it with your IKEA furniture, it actually makes the IKEA furniture look higher quality. Also, specifically for this media console that I want to get for the TV area, I'm also planning on doing a little bit of a DIY and painting it, and I'm going to bring you guys along in that journey. Obviously, a lot of you guys really love my blue bookshelf. My blue bookshelf is actually just an IKEA bookshelf that I painted blue, but going back to the whole blending of IKEA furniture with higher quality pieces, when I had thrifted my David Rowland 44 chair, I realized that it made the bookshelf and the desk, also from IKEA, look so much more beautiful. The David Rowland chair is obviously a very beautiful chair, but when it's placed right next to the bookshelf, it somehow made the bookshelf look so much more premium than it really is. I mean, it's the IKEA Billy bookshelf, so it's quite an affordable bookshelf. Anybody can buy it. My original plan when I was thinking about getting a media console was to maybe go like the West Elm route, maybe go like the Design Wouldn't Reach outlet route, kind of maybe find something that's like mid-century modern, maybe something a little more elevated. But then I realized I don't need to do that. I don't need to spend a lot of money. I can just get an IKEA media console and I can just customize it to be more me and more personalized. Stay tuned for that because I know a lot of you guys really love the blue bookshelf. I'm going to be making a little bit of a tutorial on how I paint IKEA furniture because guys, I've had this IKEA bookshelf for about 3 years now, and the paint has not chipped once. It's holding up so beautifully. And if you guys are ever interested in painting IKEA furniture, it really is a whole process that you have to do because of the nature of the IKEA products and how they're designed and the materials they use. You actually can't just paint on it. It's a whole process, guys, but if you're interested, then definitely stay tuned for that. So one of the things that I've been thinking about getting is actually new bedding. And if you guys have been keeping up with me, you guys know that I have recently gotten a new bed. I got a Floyd bed finally. I've been wanting a Floyd bed for the longest longest time. And so I'm really grateful that I was able to actually pick up a Floyd bed from Facebook Marketplace for an absolute steal. This is the queen size with the headboard included. I paid a fourth of what this bed is worth. And so I'm really happy that I was able to find such a great deal on it. But I have actually been thinking about getting new bedding. I have been looking at all sorts of different brands. Specifically, Homey is the brand that I've been looking at. I've heard a little bit of mixed reviews about the brand and its quality. I'm obsessed with their bedding. It is on the little bit of a pricier side, so I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I feel like when it comes to buying things, I could be quite indecisive on making decisions. And so this is definitely one of those things that I am struggling to make a decision on. So yeah, I'm honestly just like really honestly open to suggestions. So before I go, I actually wanted to share this book that I recently got. It is New York Living Rooms by Dominique Nabokov. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name, Dominique. It is a book by Apartmental, which is an interior design magazine. Guys, I live in New York City, so this felt like such an appropriate book to buy. It's a photo book that features different living rooms in New York City. Some people in this book are pretty notable and famous. I am obsessed with some of these living rooms. I love that the way it's captured. They don't try to make it look staged. So this is not like opening up an Architectural Digest magazine and reading through it. It feels very much like the photographer literally just went into these people's homes and captured it exactly how it was in that moment. Of course, I'm sure there's a bit of staging in it for privacy reasons, but for the most part, a lot of these apartments are really interesting looking. Also, the era in which these were photographed in, it's mostly in the 90s. And so it's really cool to see the type of furniture that were in these people's homes and what these homes even looked like during the 90s. It's always so fascinating to see how interior decorating changes over time. Like, I'm loving this one apartment right here. Robert Wilson, director, West Side Highway, September 1995, April 1997. I wasn't even born yet. This apartment by this really cool photographer, Nan Golden, Greenwich Village, February 1997, looks so freaking cool. Those bookshelves, where do you even find bookshelves like that? Going back to this whole trying to elevate my style thing, it's really nice to look at what other people's apartments look like to kind of pull inspiration from. I mean, a lot of these people are definitely in a different tax bracket than I am, but it's really cool to pull inspiration from. For example, this apartment by Richard Meyer, who's an architect in the Upper East Side. I love the way he has his books just displayed out like that. I've been reading a lot more and I've been trying to collect more books and things, but I think if I were to have a pretty big book collection, I would try to display it the way he does. I love that they're kind of just sitting out in the open. It really does fill in the space really nicely. And I mean, this man is an architecture, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing when it comes to placement of things. There's also different cities, so it's not just New York City living rooms. I'm gonna try to collect all the other ones too, like their Pokemon, but I figured since I'm a New Yorker, gotta get the New York one. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This was more of a sit down, talk and chill kind of video. If you're into this format, I think it's fun to just sit down from time to time and just really have a conversation about things. If you guys enjoyed this video and you're still watching up to this point, leave the balloon emoji for the inflatable green chair from IKEA PS 2026 collection. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting my videos. It means a lot to me. I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.